Hello, everybody. Hello, Loki. Hope you're well. Let's just jump straight into it. I didn't change the name of the stream. That I am back, but I have been back for at least one stream. Uh, I always forget something. You and Callie get that sticker finished yet? Not yet. I've sent her the PNG. Now I just need to get her to do the calligraphy on it. Close. Ah, I do. That's why. Turned to, I've turned to Sleepy Mouse. Oh, and back. Yeah, so it's probably like a minute's worth of, I mean, probably not a minute's worth, but only a little amount of work left, and then it'll be up on the store as soon as possible. Count them, count the days. Just a heads up, her 10K and 3-year celebration is Friday. Okay, so I definitely want to get it done before then. She'll be very busy. She'll have a lot on. And I also assume that she's got a lot on anyway. Saturday for me, I believe. Okay, good to know. I will. She was streaming today, wasn't she? So her next stream won't be till Saturday, will it? I think. If so, I don't want to disturb her that stream because it's an important one. But it will get done. It'll be soon. Just as a heads up, I had like a lot of dinner, so like I'm feeling really full. I might burp a few times, and I'll try my best to like mute myself before then. But just as a warning, been eating well. Should drop in so you can show off chapter one. I should, shouldn't I? I have sent through chapter one on one of her streams, I think. But it's also really hard to remember because I've gone to a lot of streamers and shown off the chapter, which has been really cool as well. People have been lovely about it. I also think, not that I'm aware of. That's fair. Wonder. Because yeah, like I said, it's also probably fairly likely that I'm wrong, just because I've been going to a lot of streamers and showing off the new chapter. If that's the case, sweet, because I got someone to show it off to then. Oh, bumping the poor mic. Oh, that's line work. Every time. And I finally got those compressed hours, so I actually took Monday off work, and I just used it to catch up on errands and things like that. But in future, I'll probably be using it for comic stuff, and whether that's streamed or not, I will be working on the comic, which should mean that chapter two and then the subsequent chapters beyond it will take less time. I'll have I'll have a day where I can just work on it time or often, very least. But also, now that I have a chapter released, I'm really going to be pushing for the Hollow Knight stuff, as in like pushing my support for Hollow Knight. As you can tell by the fact that Knight's music will be uh, lo-fi Hollow Knight music, but because I want them to know who I am. We're all Adelaideans. Surely, surely they'll see me. This time next week, you'll probably be asleep in the airport, so you being here is not very likely. Completely fair enough. You got your life to live. I fully understand it. I really appreciate you like telling me and stuff, but like it's totally, totally fine. You got your life. Your life comes first. I'll always be here. I'm gonna be here for a long time doing this comic, so you don't have to be here 100% of the time. I do love that you are here so often, but you don't have to be. Heading back to Canada? You will always sleep in the airport and not get a hotel room, especially in Halifax. Honestly, I can respect that. As someone who's traveled quite a bit this year, I fully get that. One, you're cheap. Two, you have permission from the chaplain to sleep in the church area. Oh, that's nice. That's nice of them. Saves you a bit of money. Interesting. That's also very nice of them to let you stay. Oh, you know what I should do? When I get to the light layer, someone remind me. I'll remind myself, but to add just a little bit of light coming out from the bottom of the door frame. About 200 Canadian each time. Fuck, that would be a lot. And because you're traveling back and forth so much, that would be a huge impact on your finances. So I fully get why you would just choose to rough it in that situation. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Loki. And your mum sleeps in the nursing area because they have recliners in it. That's nice. The recliners would be, I mean, not solid, as in like physically solid. I mean, they would be physically solid, but like they would be fun. Had security tell you you could sleep in there, but it feels wrong. Ah, okay. I mean, you do you, I guess. And also fair. That's nursing. The nursery would feel a little bit odd. Get that? You would hate to have some mum come in at 3 a.m. needing to nurse and walk in on you sleeping there. Besides, you only ever had a handful of people ever come into the chapel. Yeah, that makes sense. Because, like, if you're traveling, I guess it would be a little bit surprising to see if people step into the chapel. I mean, completely fair enough if they did, but like, I guess it would be rarer days. Well, lightly tapping, like, reminds you guys that I'm here. Plus, the whole having to have your feet elevated above your waist when you sleep, it's better to just sleep on the floor and rest your feet on your luggage. Yeah, that's fair. If you're reclining, then your feet aren't up through the night. That'd probably get less and less comfortable for you, sure. Recliners are better than most options, but still better for you to be on the floor with your feet elevated. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, you need that foot elevation more so than you need a nice reclining bed chair. Hey, cool. Nightbot's working. Nightbot now lets us know the comic is out. So the comic timer now actually works, which is good because I set that up today. And it's really nice to see that it is working properly. That said, this long after the DBT, your legs have probably re-analyzed. Analyzed. Still worried about the other one. Okay. Like it was only your left one. Oh, okay. Interesting. Then yeah, probably way better to just not way better to sleep on the floor, but like more beneficial. backpack, and then I'll switch out the music. There's about 6 minutes worth of Hollow Knight lo-fi, so I was like, it'll probably be switched up pretty quick. Damn it. Music streaming service. Why can't you have more Hollow Knight lo-fi? Save. Might see if I can change up a few of the colors. There's currently a lot of brown going on. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, maybe not necessary to have quite so much brown. Might add in like some curtains stuff. Recanalization, basically, in a DVT, there is a clot in the veins, and as time goes on, assuming you survive, it is gradually eroded and filtered out. Right, that makes sense. Your clot was the whole left leg, so it took several years. And in that time, your body made lots of new veins, but the original ones were, while clear, were still damaged. I mean, yeah, that sounds rough, but it's the human body. It can get busted. Being damaged, they are more likely to have another clot. Ah, okay. That makes sense. You keep your legs up to just try and reduce clotting. Like that? Like you said, humans are space orcs. Exactly. Exactly. Encourage the blood to circulate. Yeah. Right. That makes more sense. Clot was literally from your ankle to your crotch by the time you went to the hospital. Holy shit. Big clot. Had it for at least 6 days before you got it treated, and had the multiple clots in both lungs for 3 days before you got medical help. Holy shit. That's that's quite intense. Damn. Well, I'm glad you're still with us, Loki. Damn, that's fucking scary. That's scary stuff. But also, I also get why you didn't go to hospital such a long time, because America. Fun fact for PETE, clots in the lungs. Clots in the lungs for 1/3 of people with them. The first sign of them is dead. Oh shit. That is a fun fact. Concerned look on my face. Oh, wait, hold on. Concerned look on my face. I don't know why that mouse is so much smaller. I don't know why the tired mouse model is just so much smaller. I think I may have resized it improperly, and now as a result, it's small. But that, in part, is why it's kind of funny. So you walked around with several of them in both lungs for 3 days. Fuck, man. Tense. Oh, Jesus. Doctor was confused why you were still alive. Also shocked I walked yourself in there. Yeah, absolutely. That's quite intense. Especially for the doctor, who would know that that whole thing is like, people die of that. Yeah. The fine detailing is taken care of, mostly. Socks. First day they told you you would be lucky if I was on a cane or walker for the rest of your life. Damn. I mean, very upfront with you as well, but like, damn. That would have been a lot to, take on and to hear. A nice little surprise. So this is something that was written into Ratchet's character really early from the start. The fact that it actually was referenced in chapter 1 is actually kind of cute, but this isn't actually it wasn't necessarily intentional. But because he's a little kid, they have ducks on them. So naturally, on day 2, you are hobbling around the hospital floor using your IV pole as a cane. Damn, I mean, you are persistent, if nothing else. I'm not necessarily trying to make like every single chapter an ever looping thing in that it's got like these ever looping references, but like that was always planned. This part was always planned. Only thing you have to show for it is you no longer wear shorts in public. One, you're self conscious about the new veins, how close they are to the surface, and two, you're a little scared of someone cutting one because they're so close. Oh shit, yeah. Didn't even think about that. That would be quite concerning, yeah. Damn. That's my calendar letting me know that I should be working on commissions, even though I've changed my schedule, so now I'm actually working on the comic. And the nights that I'm not streaming, I'm working on commissions, which I do think is hilarious that I've just not fixed my calendar. So as a result, it's just the opposite. Every time I check my phone for like what I'm doing, it's always the opposite of what my calendar, like what my calendar says. I'm an E and too lazy to fix that. Oh, that's line work. Phone reminder, don't forget to ignore your phone. Yeah, exactly. Reminder, this is incorrect. Reminder, this reminder is not right. Also wrong time because it says it's reminding me for 7, 6, 6:30. So it's still going according to my old time too, so I just haven't fixed it at all. It's not right and it's not correct. And there we go. I do like using vector um, lines for the line work and stuff because it does make it easier to get a like just a nice smooth line, but holy crap, erasing them can be annoying. It's like, oh, do you mean don't erase anything? I'm like, no, no, I mean erase this little double. And it's like, oh, you mean erase nothing? And I'm like, no. Oh wait, hold on. You're watching. I got a cheat skill in another world, became unrivaled in the real world. And let me say, it is hot wish fulfillment revenge fantasy garbage, obviously written by an overweight, ugly guy who blamed all of his problems on that, but it doesn't try to hide the fact it's garbage, so it will still probably get a 7 or 8 out of 10 from you. Ooh, cool. Art is nice too. That's always nice. Cool. Like that sounds good. I mean, not good, but like enjoyable garbage, very least. Man, never coffee in the later evenings like I usually dream. And I'm like glad I'm doing that because holy crap, that's just not a good way of uh, maintaining my energy tied for work next day. So it's just no winning there in that situation. So I just gotta be tired at some point. Better to be tired at night when I can do something about it eventually. Like, dude starts out as fat, ugly, being bullied and hated by everyone, including his family, ends up in a fantasy world, levels up, and becomes hot, ripped guy who everyone on both planets lust after. Ah, yeah, that does sound like it. Like, that sort of a thing, the fulfillment, revenge kind of style. No, it is what it is horrible, but at least it's upfront about being horrible. Yeah, exactly. It's very self aware, at the very least. Nice. Can be quite refreshing sometimes. Gonna finish it up after your stream, so you'll have watched it all in one day. I usually only do 6 episodes a day, so you can remember the show and characters, but this one I don't really care if I remember. That's fair. That sounds like the kind of one that you like you could enjoy and then kind of forget. You let it go, basically. Yeah, fair enough. Also, one thing that's kind of nice about doing chapter two or being on the first page of chapter two, that I can go back to the previous pages and like I can keep the writing up there because if you haven't read it, what are you doing here? Um, Go and read the first chapter of the comic. Like seriously, what are you doing here? Go and do that. Um, but yeah, it's like it's there's now no longer a risk of spoiling things with chapter one, so I can go back to chapter one and color pick and do those kinds of things. Is excellent because sometimes I just need to find the right kind of color. Chapter one has it. All that trashing said, I wouldn't mind a second season. Things are actually looking like they could get interesting. Like there's a decent big bad on the horizon. It's been hinted at that it is another world where science and magic are related, and he just brought the first other person from Earth to the fantasy world. It is setting up decent bones. That's cool. It has decent foundations in the wings, from what you're telling me. Okay, scratch the eyes. So you can't really call it bad until you know how those parts turn out, but you still call it trash. Main focus of everyone hated me because I was fat. Yeah, it's a pretty like narrow-minded uh starting point, isn't it? Might redo these eyes. Kind of have a potentially better idea how I want them to look. So I got some major good guy syndrome going on, but no idiot plots, so that's why I have a bit of a hope that the second season will make it decent. Oh, that's good. I want, yeah, slightly more tired looking eyes from Ratchet. You know what an idiot plot is, right? Not so much. Could explain it to me, that would be good. And the problem could have been easily avoided if anyone in the story had an IQ above the level of a warm bowl of cabbage. Oh yeah, no, I hate that too. Uh, using like just a plot convenience that's only been kind of allowed through sheer stupidity. Yeah, I hate that. This Ratchet's eyes just a different direction. Yeah, no, you need like it can't be like that. That's just poor writing. There we go. It will work. Nah. Then again, I could do like just like that in the shadow, or not shadow, but like semi shadow. Little face. He's so tired. Tired little lad. We have to save the world. Why? It's going to end because someone pushed the giant red button that said push it to end the world to action, friends. Who could have ever predicted such a horrible outcome? Yeah. Yeah, no, that's bad storytelling. Give it some intrigue. Or even just like personal responsibility, you know? I say as if that's not like me, part of my character's motivations. TV tropes, the idiot plot, of course, is any plot that would be resolved in 5 minutes if everyone in the story were not an idiot. Yeah, yeah. No, I get you. A lot of the later seasons of Game of Thrones becomes the idiot plot. The fact that no one has any kind of common sense series not only doesn't resolve the conflict, but actually propels it. You know? That shit is annoying. Lazy writing, basically. You assassinate your own characters, stuff like that. You know, it's character assassination because you make your characters idiots, and then also you don't do the story justice. By not making a resolution to conflict or to the conflict that is the sum of all your work, you know, all the work that you put into it. Oh, sorry, chat. Bumped the mic. I will continue that till the day I die. I apologize purely because of inconvenience. Curious. Don't like the TV tropes redesign. In the past, you could use tropes to look up the types of showy you were interested in. Can't do that as much anymore. Also, you missed one. Hold on. Even worse than that is the second order idiot plot, in which the plot can only function in the if the world population suddenly loses about 50 IQ points. Yeah. Yeah. I'm tired. I'm gonna miss things. But thank you for pointing that out, because yeah, my brain was not picking that up. Yeah, I fuck, like, yeah, I do hate that because it is just throwing in the towel of your writing and the amount of effort you put into something that you've made, and then to just resolve it in a way that, like, oh, it's because, you know, because the enemies or the villains or the heroes were stupid. You know, it's like that actually doesn't do your story justice. Have you done this to yourself? And I feel like with the current writer strikes, we're going to get a lot of those. Like a lot of these tropes for a little while, just because we don't have good writers writing currently, because they're not being paid what they deserve. Okay, I'm actually not going to make this yellow just because it makes the overall image just too a little too brown. So it'll be a slightly light. That'll do it. It's cool. We're working in like warm shadows now as well, which is gonna be kind of fun. Actually, have more dynamic shadows series. Good news is you can still find stuff with your favorite tropes: latex spacesuits. Your defense is you love sci-fi, and sometimes you just want to look at hot women in tight clothing. Two birds in one stone. With one stone, not in one stone. Cool. Good on you. That's nice. Yeah, you'll always be able to find stuff like that. Feel like we'll always have an abundance of that kind of content. It's great. But they have actually started removing some of the trope examples like that because it was sexualizing. Oh, right. Hmm. I mean, each their own, I guess, but that's a shame. Very fine, detailed B for as right as possible. That's probably best I'm gonna get it. I think it's a disservice, even if you disagree with the trope, trying to scrub it out is wrong to me. Also, there's the old quote. Yeah, like I fully agree with you. The net interprets censorship as damage and routes around it. Yeah, I think yeah to try and erase it altogether is to deny its existence. That's not a good thing. To deny its existence denies just the natural like route we took to get to that point. So without that, we risk repeating it without the same moderation. Create a very nasty outcome for narrative. That too. That's part. That's part of why you like to have things physically, like some older films, but only older films only have censored versions on streaming. I remember Blazing Saddles. That was that way for a while. Yeah, yeah. Despite it being like comedy of its time, and sure, some of the jokes haven't aged well, but to just pretend that they don't exist is maybe a step in the wrong direction. I mean, not maybe, it is a step in the wrong direction. It doesn't actually achieve anything positive. implies that humor like that was made in bad faith. It wasn't. We're not going to comment on that, honestly. I don't know enough about censorship to actually actively comment on it. If in 50 years' time, the stuff that I've made censored, like, what? Like, for me, that doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Times will change. But if anything I ever make is censored, I'll look back on this stream, VODs and stuff, and I'll be like, he predicted it, he knew, because people got a little too sensitive. My humor, which arguably is pretty tame. Not immensely tame, but fairly tame. We can all agree on that. The views that society see as bad still exist if you scrub them out. When you them out, then you'll just have a wave of people who think it's new, and because they have not been told it's wrong, they go off on it. Yeah, yeah. Also, like the issue like that I've seen very commonly is that people will complain about something being wrong but not know why, and as a result, they can't actively articulate why something is bad or wrong. You know, they can only be offended by it, and it's like, but do you know why it's bad? And they won't, because a lot of that is censored. So we have slightly less educated society because of that kind of pathway. That's too bright. I guess this woke debate in America. Oh wait, hold on. I believe that may be part of the force behind the rise in anti-Semitism. Yeah, that people just don't necessarily know where it's coming from, and it's like, well, it's actually very trackable, but a lot of that stuff is we don't we don't talk about because it's, and then as a result, it returns. Uh, what is woke? Nobody knows, but they know that it is bad, and the left is shoving it down their throats. Yeah, it's like woke isn't even bad. It was just yeah, I don't know, weird and dumb. Got into it. Yeah, pretty bad, weird spot. woke was originally used in the African American community as a way of saying be aware of the way the system is systematically set against them. Usually in parting "Stay woke, brother." The amount of times I heard that in the 90s was staggering. Yeah. Huh. I didn't know that. But it makes sense that that would have actual, genuinely, like, useful origins. I guess it is now super ironic where it's used now, where people who are very unaware of the way the system works, they think they know how the system works, but purely because they think that they're being kept down by it and stuff like that. The irony that they're using the term to mock people who are actually more aware of the injustices of the system than they are. Okay. Horrible. That's actually not too bad. I might even just erase the line work out the window. Ah, that's why. Nothing. So, do it. Waste of my time. But it means I can kind of go buck wild with the coloring and stuff. Man being a white guy in a mostly black area has led some interesting conversations. The saddest one was having to explain to a little 1-year-old girl who Martin Luther King was. Little girl in year one. Ah, right. Yeah, that would be bad. Yeah, weird. Like so often it is the education system really leaves behind a lot of what should be like general knowledge and what should really become general knowledge and just national history and stuff like that. Well, it was basically your job in the school in year seven. You got assigned a year one person to mentor. Oh, right, that makes sense. And they stayed with you until you graduated to high school. Once they got old enough, they did the same. Yeah, right. That does actually ring a bell. I think we did something quite similar. Or well, we used to do something quite similar. And once I got to that uh, age, they just stopped doing it. Like I think they did it, stopped doing it the year before, just because I think there wasn't an interest in it in my school, which was a little disappointing because I was like curious about doing that. But yeah, honestly, it's for the best. You don't need me educating kids. having her actually helped with your depression several times because you just couldn't try because the thought of them explaining what happened to me to her was too much. Not a stretch to say she saved your life a few. That is heartwarming in that in that kind of melancholy way. It is such a sometimes it is just like little things like that that do really help like prevent yourself from like following through with things like that. And I do get that. Sometimes it doesn't take much, but that can mean everything too, which is super important. Do I actually have more flat colors to fill in, or am I just getting distracted by the window? Which does look beautiful now, by the way. If I if I do say so myself. Look at my boy. Oh, your favorite little bit of dark humor. Let me post a pic real quick. I'll check it out. Okay, be sure to check it out. Yeah, it's such a weird thing, but like a weirdly um hopeful thing is that it doesn't take much sometimes, and sometimes it means everything. Um, I think I've talked about it a few times on stream and stuff, or not my stream, but other streams, sure. But like my life was changed because I saw a street light, and I saw the way the light looked on in the street light, and it made me change the way I thought, uh, and really brought me out of a depressive. And it can be little things like that. It's never stupid. Never a stupid thing that changes you. Helps, then it helps. All right. Put it in anime. Okay. I'll check it in a moment. Just erase flat colors. Not erase. Hide it. Check it out. I will look at it first. Anime. Oh, is this cells at work? Goes to show how little. That cells at work. Or the only other little girl in anime that I know or remember. Anime cells at work. Hey, I get it. The only other anime little girl I know is from the one from Full Metal Alchemist, and that is how they showed the platelets. Now, disorder means essentially they will kill me, but something about thinking of them messing up makes it easier. That is, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That probably would make things easier, but it is also grim. But you got to kind of have that humor in a situation where all you can do is laugh. I think best you can do, so you may do it. May as well have a gig about it. It might feel dire, but yeah. What else can you? I still love Ratchet's stupid little, like, tired face. Got me, sleepy boy. That's the sleep. Boy. Oh, it's absolutely. I was like, why is it not creating the line? And I'm just like, why the fuck is it creating the line? And it's because I was hitting caps lock instead of shift. Oh my God. You could have 10 plus years of illustrating experience and still fuck things up. Ask any trader. Anyone who draws at all, they will fuck. No one is perfect. I want to have it on your cell phone as a reminder, but I'm not going through customs with a young girl as your background. Fair enough. I already get interrogated for having a hot, well endowed female samurai keychain. That's fair enough. You want to make the process as simple and as painless as possible. So yeah, just do what gets you through customs quicker. Shadow that comes later. Also, a lot of this is old shadows because it's ratchet. Better with old shadows, skin, skin tone better. The rules change with ratchet has green skin. Warm tone's just weird on him. Well, not too weird actually, but I'd still rather have. But yeah, just the thought of them doing their best and tripping and spilling the basket is carrying the binding agent thing that makes me the platelets stick together just makes it easier for you to live with somehow. Yeah, I guess so. It adds a cute little uh, bit of humor to it, I guess. Lack of better words, I think. Also, highly recommend Cells at Work. It's great, great edutainment. I'll add it to the list. Thanks, please do. I haven't seen it. I know of it, so I'll definitely check it out. That's the only one. I'm like, I know that one. That name. I recognize it. It's rare, but it does happen. And sells at work. Code black has a very nice white blood. Oh, I know exactly which one you mean. Don't try and trick me. I know which one you mean. Just say it. Okay. I mean, I do know which one you mean. Very nice. What a what a cells that white blood. They're an amazing cosplay of her one. Oh, cool. So many blood cells, it's raising my blood pressure. Am I right? I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm saying it. That doing how I actually sketch or shade trees in real life. I mean, not in real life. I don't shade actual trees. How I draw trees, shade them in my sketchbook. Fill in empty spaces. Code Black does actually do an episode on ED. Oh, nice. Always good to always good to be educated. I'm at 55k points. I'm collecting 100k for some reason. Not sure why yet. Wait, do I have something at 100k? Oh, hold on. I don't have anything at 100k. Should I? You want to suggest something uh, for 100k? I'm open to it. You've been around long enough, I'm sure. Like, you're more than welcome to just 100k bits reward. Eventually you can, but no need to worry about it now. That's fair. Oh yeah, because it doesn't benefit you in any way if I have it now. Now I'm gonna be thinking about it. It's, but I'm in the lead. It wouldn't benefit anyone. True. That's true. It wouldn't benefit anyone at all. It'd just be sitting there enticingly. I know, like, some things, like, I won't do it. I'm not going to do a face reveal, and that's fair enough. But, eh, what are my other talents other than drawing? It's limited. It's not true. Well, besides you and your unlimited points, but that's cheating. Yeah, exactly. I can't claim that I'm in the lead because I'm the guy making the stream. I'd say, admittedly, like, I also, you can get a character added, like your own character added in without bits and points. So, like, some of the best rewards are more just for joining the Discord and stuff so far, which isn't a bad thing. But yeah, a lot of my rewards aren't really based on bits currently, I would say. There we go. Naratu and his donk. Little badonkadonk. Sweet little bee butt. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it all, it actually doesn't look too bad with all the brown. I might add in some curtains anyway, just because it will it'll differentiate a lot of the space, but yeah, I don't think it necessarily needs it. Good. And it's nice to know that the most complicated part of this section of chapter 2 will be Ratchet and facial expressions and expressive characters and their shadows and stuff like that. Makes my life just that bit easier. Still thinking, I'm gonna fill in a little bit of shadow Ratchet in the red shadow and see how it looks. And then ultimately, worst case, if I hate it, then I can just erase it. Very little consequence. Can you imagine if I did, like, if I put one of those first redeems? Uh, so at 100k, so it's like you get to 100k and you can redeem first, and then it doesn't redeem for the rest of the stream. And it's like, that's it. Like, then I delete it. Once someone gets it, like, deleted and gone forever. Single first. But that'd be you because you're here. How do I feel about Warm Shadow Ratchet as opposed to Cold Shadow Ratchet? At 100k, you send us a Yakot. Oh my god, that would never get through customs. I'd get fined. Have to be more than 100k. It'd have to be enough to pay for, like, the customs of the Yakult. They'd be like, no, this isn't going through. Like, this isn't going through. Grey Mouse, you are going to prison for trying to send this horrible, horrible, outdated Yakult, because by the time the postal system gets it, yeah, it's gonna be nasty. 100k, I send you guys a Yakult to chug. Yeah, no, I much prefer the cold shadows with Ratchet. Just because it does suit his skin tone better. Not even because of, like, oh, because he's a cold character, because he's not. He's maybe one of the sweetest characters in the series. But because it suits the green way better than a red that just contrasts with him, and not in a good way. Can't send Yak up. They'll deport me from my own country. Go live with Arnie in Dubai. Just somewhere else. They're like, no, we don't. We don't let Grey Mouse back. Trust us. That's a slippery line. That's even worse. Okay, way better. Oh, matches it. Like mid-tone hair. Don't need to just give him big patches of shadow. Sometimes you wish your brother possessed common sense. Fair. Fair. I agree. You and Thor, I assume, is there as Thor, because you're Loki. I'm just gonna call him. Anytime we refer to Loki's brother, I'm just gonna refer to Thinking Thor. Why is he not here? Here in this stream. Supporting me, the mouse. Narcissist at its finest. What do you do? 2 nights ago, he wanted to make dinner. Go, cool, we have some hamburger, some macs, and cheese, and a can of beans mix it together, and we've got a good meal for both of us. Yeah, yeah. Okay. With you so far, I'm with you. Next day he comes in, grabs another pan of hamburger, shows up 40 minutes later. He added the mac and cheese and burger to 2 cups of uncooked rice. Oh no, the rice was cooked, but 2 cups was the uncooked amount. Oh no. Oh God. Thor, what are you doing? The fuck? My goose. My goose. So it was just a mess of mush with bigger parts of mush in it. Ah, God. And with that much rice, the mac and cheese added no flavor. Oh, God. No. Oh, that's terrible. What a terrible shame. He has no idea of proportions when cooking. Oh, God. And that's one of the most important parts. Knowing the proper, like, amount to put in. Yeah. He doesn't season the rice either. Ah! I don't know what that noise was, but oh, God. That's so unfortunate. Oh, man. That breaks my heart. Wait a second. Commissions, sorry. Commissions, man. Oh, no. Ugh. I don't mind commissions, but also, like, at the rate my busyness is at, I'm just like, oh, God, as long as it's not a big commission. Please be gentle. Please be gentle with the mouse. He has seen me make it dozens of times, mix in some turmeric, some cumin, soy sauce, and some butter. Yeah, just a little bit of zest, a little bit of flavor. All it needs, just a little bit. Sucks. Right. That does definitely does. No. Soul of a abundantly. Oh, I've not looked at it long enough. Really. Making it abundantly clear that I don't have anything for feet because I've literally literally got no idea what a foot looks like. The sole of a foot. Like what the fuck does it look like? When pretty I mean it's fine. At least I finally got him to do an appropriate amount of water. He was doing 2 to 1 for water to rice. Now pressure cooker, you only need a 1 to 1. Oh, good. Good. Sure what I usually rice. But I certainly don't do 2 to 1. I should get a rice cooker, I think. It'd just make my life just that bit easier, honestly. And also it's so easy to just rice cooker. Got tired of rice soup. You know what? That's really honestly very fair. Um, I don't often mess up rice. When I do, it really puts a dampener on my evening. So I'd rather just get it 100% right all the time. I might get a rice cooker. And because I like rice. Well, I like rice with my... Maybe I just should get a rice cooker. Best and live a happy life. Live a happy, peaceful life. Proper rice. Every time. Both houses have a dedicated rice cooker and a pressure cooker that has a rice setting. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Get a rice cooker mouse. Just get a... Do it. What's the worst that will happen? Have good rice. Maybe you don't know how to use it properly the first few times, but that's fine. You'll learn. Not that bad of it. Like, it's not going to be that hard of a learning curve. A rice cooker, not fucking coffee machine. Not rocket science. It's a rice cooker. Should just get one. Just trying to fill in the shadows in a way that would make sense, and also in a way that doesn't make it look like Ratchet's pissed himself. Always ideal, or always not ideal. We don't want our hero to be depicted as having wet themselves just because I messed up some shadows. Uh, Rice cooker, all you do is start with their suggested ratio and adjust it a bit if you need to. Easy. That sounds, yeah, so much more doable. And because I've found like the different types of rice require different levels of like care and cooking preparation and stuff like that, and it's such a fucking hassle. Uh, oh, and get a wire strainer to steam the rice easy. Clean, not steam. To clean the rice easy. Good idea. Good idea. Thank you for that suggestion. I definitely would not have thought that actually. And that's not sarcasm, I'm being very genuine. Um, it just sounds like I'm being sarcastic because that's just my voice. Um, yeah, that's the sort of thing that I'm like, I think about when it's like, oh yeah, so this is not clean and it needs to be clean. It comes to mind when it's already kind of too late. I could have saved myself a great deal of pain and work. I'm just like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. I, he likes to think he can cook well just because you worked as a cook at Macca's doesn't cook. Yeah, yeah, that's, oh, ain't that the case? Just because you worked in a McDonald's does not necessarily make you chef. Come back when you've been, when Gordon Ramsay has given you the sign off, then you get my respect. That looks really nice. That little lad just waking up. Looks really good. Yeah, sometimes it takes me a little time to actually convince I'm okay with my own work. But hey, ain't that a mood? When Ratu's wings. Should probably give a big old amount of shadow. I knew it. Freaking Animal Crossing. People watching the VODs, I just sound batshit insane. Watch me live, you fucks. Then you'll understand the references I make. I don't accommodate to you. I accommodate to me. Fun little fact for everybody. So, this is a camera. We'll have cameras in the world. Why not? But this is an actual real world type of camera because for those of you who don't know, I'm also a photographer, an analog photographer. I love analog photography and I love collecting cameras. So, a nice little addition to this series is that I will actually be filling the world with, so like if there are cameras in the world, they are real cameras. They'll be analog as well because I like the idea that there aren't digital cameras in a fantasy world. There could be analog cameras. So as a result, I have brought in analog cameras with slight variations and things like that, but there we go. We have a Kodak Brownie here. It's an old style camera, a very old style camera, very simple technology. You have and will always prefer film to digital? Nice. That's what I love to hear. get a lot out of this series. Then see these little you'll see these little cameras, and I think you'll derive a little bit of joy from them. If you can identify them, then that's awesome. If you can't, that's okay. I will identify them for you. And I'll point them out. They will appear in. There will be an addition of cameras in the compendium where I explain the cameras that you actually see in the world. Don't worry, if you don't know cameras, you will. Because I will beat you over the head with my passion for them. Until you have a passion for them. I didn't actually. Fun fact, the first picture I sold to someone to use in a publication you sold it in high school, and it was one you took in Australia. Whoa! Small world. I mean, not that small of a world kind of a thing. Like, that's still super cool. What was it of? If you don't mind me asking. And as long as it doesn't dox you. But, never know. Some small mind a cult. Of this. Eh. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I like it. It's popping. Alright, highlights. You. I'm doing finger guns at you guys if you didn't realize, which you probably couldn't, because I can't see my face. Or my hands. Sorry, just looking at Ratchet's silly little face. Give that face's texture. It was from some rock outcroppings with the rocks in the foreground and a sailboat in the distance, kind of situated between the rocks. That's cool. Sounds like a great picture. You shot about 40 rolls of film over there and won about 60 awards on pictures in competitions, beating out several photographers. That's super cool. It's awesome. Like, keep them humble. Well, keep those photographers humble. Need a little bit of that. I do like the little marks and stuff. Gives his face a nice bit of texture. I do find quite nice. There's a lot of it's about me figuring out and learning my style. Well, as long as it kind of still looks good and not horrifically shitty, then I'm okay with it. Uh, there are two things you were born knowing: trigger discipline and the rule. Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like the kind of that kind. So they have a little, and also it kind of does make the hair look a little bit like almost liquid, which is definitely not what I'm going for. I'll redo it, but I'm not too far against. Your mother did a layout, and your father was a photographer, and the printer and the printer, so it's in your blood. Also, I think that contributed to you being drawn to artists. That's fair. That makes sense. It all connects. Oh, you've got your challenge coin from Ukraine, and yeah, good that you got it. Yeah, yeah. I think you should have shown us a. Yeah, glad that it's shown up. Great. What was I gonna say? Like I currently do have an order that I'm waiting on. I know I'm doing scratchy. Uh, highlights for the shirt, just for hair. Um, but I ordered one of Arnie's Gengatoon shirts. That's maybe a little too, yeah, just a little, right? And I ordered it like a few weeks ago, so I'm waiting quite a long time for it. I'm just like, ugh, that's what it's like to get stuff shipped far away. I'm not ordering from a general store. I'm ordering from an actual creator. So it does take a little bit of time. That was commemorating the Russian warship Go Fuck Yourself and the ship sinking. Oh yeah, I remember that. Nice. That's a good one. It's a good thing to remember. But yeah, but I finally got an estimated date of arrival and it's 27th, which is way away. And by quite a way away, it's like 2 weeks. Yeah. Ooh, it's hard to remember what I've done and what I haven't done. So, I mean, I know some of my coworkers have read this comic, which is such an interesting thought. It's like really lovely, but I also just wonder. I think I know one of my coworkers, but I'm also just curious to know what. Had some wonderful feedback on it. You were surprised how quick you got it. It took 2 weeks to go through an active war zone and go halfway around the world. Not bad. That is pretty good shipping. Like all things considered, really good shipping. Those delivery times are good. I realize that needs a button. Oh, it's a Nike backpack. Yeah, it's a fantasy Nike backpack. Nike, please do not sue me. I didn't do this intentionally. Just the path of the highlight, please. I love that, just the giggle. That's obviously a boomerang. It's obviously a boomerang, yeah. It's just, yeah, it's literally just the shape of the highlight. Like the natural formation of the highlight that I found with it. Just so happened to look like a boomerang. Nothing else. This is probably going to be just white. Even though I have said it before that I don't really like just adding shades like pure white or black or anything like that to the colors and stuff. It's a little unavoidable with the lighter colors, so I'd rather just embrace it and get through it. Also, if it's metallic, then it should be shiny. And the best way to make it look shiny is to add the white. Right for Narratives be light, but there we go. A well colored, a well highlighted arrow. I actually really like how the outside looks. Like, genuinely, outside the window, it looks very pretty. So I'm very happy with that. We will be covering it. That's how it's actually going to look. But that doesn't look too bad either, really, all things considered. Should add some green, though, I think. I almost feel more compelled to add a little bit of, like, olive green. And I guess the build, like, the windows, the roof, like, the roofing of the actual inn that Ratchet's staying at could be green. Because I'm really keen on that color. I really like that olive green. And you'll see it used a lot. But I need to, yeah, it's about finding that right kind of balance, I think. Yeah, to contrast the room. Yeah, definitely, because it's a lot of brown right now, which isn't a terribly bad thing, but it's also like we're trying to make a nice looking comic, and that will include more vibrant color. Ooh, actually, and that's kind of solved my problem in a sense that I just make curtains that are nice, like that vivid green. Well, not vivid, that olivey green. But I should do this in the right channels. So we just jump back to line work. And it takes so little effort. It's just erasing a few things, adding in a few things, and then dealing with the consequences. And that literally can just be the curtain. Shadows. Because we'll also need the warm shadows for this, for the green. It's not a cold shadow color. The warm shadow color. An Animal Crossing song, isn't it? Hold on. There we go. I knew I hadn't gotten the right color. So I was like, wait. Yeah, because this Brewster's theme is in lo-fi, which is poppin'. Like, so good. Something about just baristas in games. I always love them. Brewster from Animal Crossing. Sojiro from Persona 5. I love me a barista. I don't have any more examples because I was talking out my ass, but you know what I mean. You get me. Maybe it needs to be just a touch darker. Yeah, this is it. Just add something to the room. I like it already. Just a little bit more color. I know I just went outside the line. I've been doing that since kindergarten, so it's just not something that could be trained out of me at this point. As long as I don't fill in Aritu the green, because that's a more delicate job to fix. Like, fuck. Just as I was saying, like, take extra care around Aritu. Just get him. Just got him. Got this sweet little bean. That definitely helps. Yeah, it does actually set the room up a little bit nice. Yeah. And the roofing tiles and stuff will be green once he gets outside. And we'll have a few more green trees and stuff like that. Evergreens, even during autumn, still green. But admittedly, I was after chapter one, I was like not sick of green trees and stuff, but I wanted more color and variety. We drew a lot of green trees. Goes up the window. There we go. Now to do light. The cool bit. There's not a shift over here. I appreciate that this setting exists. I can just erase selections that I don't want marked up. None of this, none of this, literally none of this. Uh, and that, a little bit of that. Basically, I need it to flatten out at a certain point. Might actually do that by erasing. Have it spill that space. We need a warm light. The sun is warm. Gonna be a bit overwhelming at first, don't worry guys. And do I like the soft light? Now let me think. Hard light, absolutely fucking not. Overlay is actually quite. Yeah, I like that a lot. The orange, it's just nice. You know, it's just nice. about it. I'm just a big fan. I say as if I'm not just a big fan of everything that I see happen. As if I'm not just a fairly like decently optimistic person. Eh. Yeah, because I kind or arguably lightest part. Kind of just like the idea of little particles. Right? So, right. Doesn't do much for me. Yeah, really. Cool idea, but maybe not. Forget it. Get that. Okay. And honestly, that light does really set out to kind of change the room tone quite a bit, and it really does work quite well with the brown. Yeah, nice. Oh, and before I forget, the one thing that I said right at the start of this that I was like, I need to remember to make sure I make a thing that happens. That we get light coming through the bottom of the floorboards. That looks quite sinister. Hold on. That looks like the depths of hell are like burning through. Should just be pretty soft and subtle. That's that's not much. It's the day. Doesn't need that much light, but it's nice. You can assume maybe there's a window just outside in the corridor or wherever he is. There we go. That's that panel done. And I'm actually really happy with that. That's really pretty. Oh, well, actually, it's not done. Hold on. Ratchet doesn't have any, like, anything in his eyes. And then the thing I forgot, he has little, like, markings in his eyes. Can't just ignore. Even if they're barely visible. There. This is our establishing shot for chapter 2. Is this room. He's not going to be spending the entirety of chapter 2 in this establishing shot or in this room, but important uh start. The big one. One room story. Yeah, it's just unbreakable. An unbreakable class. It all takes place in one aside. No, he starts here, but it's kind of an important one to start with. Just him getting progressively older and memories. Oh my god, if I did that to you guys, like I feel like I wouldn't be doing my story justice, like even slightly, if it was just all reminiscing. I'd feel so bad if I did that, honestly. Nothing, not that there's anything wrong with that style of storytelling, it's just absolutely not what I want to do, storytelling wise. Got about 30 minutes. Oh, we got about 20 minutes. Hmm. Do I have enough time to finish another panel? That is the question. What do you guys think? I could. It can be impacted but comes across as lazy. Yeah, it can be. It can be a really cool way of telling stories, but I think especially for this it would be very lazy. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Got work tomorrow, so I have to stop when I usually stop. But worst case you get more done. That's actually a really fair point. We like that. We like me getting stuff done, especially me, person who made the comic. Is making the comic. Yeah, let's see. And also, best case, it's just more to show off to whoever we raid into. I've had a couple of really cute requests for cameos in this series and stuff. So Tiny Tony Bean has asked if she could possibly be a cameo, and I was like, "You're more than welcome to be a cameo. Like, you're totally okay." But she was very sweet about it, so I was just like, "How could I refuse that? How could I refuse a request that sweet?" She is a sweetheart. Yeah, she's lovely. So I was like, "Yeah, it goes without saying, you're more than welcome to have a cameo." Oh, cool. Right shape. Got a gear up sequence. And she just started stream too. Sweet, we can raid into her then. Perfect. That worked out perfectly. Let her know that her cameo is on the way. I'll probably move some of the panels around anyway, like at some point later, just because some of them I feel like will be. There's probably a better sequence for some of them. That's what. Some would be better here or there. I also think Ratchet waking up and then popping his helmet on, light helmet on, is fine, but also add just a little bit more in. That's also my own detriment. I always feel like I can add just a little bit more in. Like, oh, it'd be nice to add this bit or this bit or whatever, and then it's like you've just given yourself more work. I don't mind doing, but also it is just more work. Aggressively delaying the comic. Why does Rat? How why does this make Ratchet look white? That gives him like a hunchback. That looks okay. I'll fix that. I'll probably come back to it anyway, so it's fine. That's line work done. Nice. Like I said, it's not going to be tough. Like, it's not going to be tough work. And I need to actually get the colors from as opposed to the establishing shot, just because there is strong light. Oh, that's line work. Because there's strong light in the next panel, or the previous panel. As a result, it would actually be, it wouldn't be the same shade of green. It would come out as a different shade of green. It's going to take so little time. But my concern is that it takes very little time. And then I don't get it done by 3 hours. I'm going to be like, I'll just finish it. I'll just finish it. And then I'll be fucking exhausted for work tomorrow. I don't want to do, even though I love this and I love my job. And yeah, it's a bad way. It'd be a bad way. It's going to be the ring of Ratchet, I think. So far, cutest Ratchet sketch so far. And that's constantly updating. Shit, and I just realized I forgot to do the poll. Like, who's everyone's favorite character from chapter 1? Do that. I'll do that eventually. That's what, 2 characters, Ratchet or Dogen, really, or Callie. I know who some people would vote for that poll. All right, let's fill in these colors. That'll probably mean actually. What about the B? Oh yeah, Aritu. You know what? You're right. Aritu. That's also an addition. Oh, how should I do this poll? Is there a way of keeping just a permanent poll up on the stream or on my page on Twitch? Hey, like surely there is. Surely something like that exists where I just have a running poll on the about page. And then I can just get people to vote on their favorite characters and stuff. not that I know, could do it in Discord and maybe pull that data to the About page. That's fair. That's fair. That makes sense. We have a poll software there, so that'll definitely be the place where I will start the poll, at the very least. Because my Discord chat are, as far as I know, up to date on the comic. So they'll know who's who. I'll set that up at some point. But I was like, better save. Sometimes my brain just went out, and I'm like, I should save. Time we got? We got 6 minutes. Okay, so this panel's definitely not getting done today. That's okay. Ooh, also, now that I'm thinking about it, I should let you all know there won't be a stream on Friday. So the control, when I usually have a stream for control, there won't be a stream this week, just because I have something on that day. So sadly, not going to be a stream then. I might move that stream to Saturday night just because then we can play some control. It's been such a long time since we've played, and I really want to play another no control day set. I might move it to Saturday instead. So just the next evening. Just because I really want to play control, but sadly now my social life is actually not sadly, but like it's nice that my social life is bumping, but also it means that I'm sometimes busy. So yeah, I might just move it this week. Also, if any of you recognize this reference, so Ratchet's flight helmet is based on one of my favorite games. That would be right after Cali's celebration. Sounds good to you? Easy. That sounds good then. We'll do that. But yeah, so Ratchet's flight helmet is based on the helmet of Rasputin from Psychonauts. I've altered it so that it's, not exactly the same helmet, sort of the helmet and goggles combo. And the green skin, I guess, as well, is a big thing. But like, yeah, Rasputin was a big influence on Ratchet's character. Legally distinct, yes, it's very much legally distinct, but heavily influenced or inspired by, not influenced. Big inspiration on his character design, not necessarily his character like personality, but his character design does pay homage, uh, Rasputin. Thinking about it, like thinking out loud, it's also like, well, his name starts with R and has an A, like RA, but it's not like quite so close as that. It's just that I liked his flight helmet and his design was very sweet and like simple while also being enough to convey a style which I really liked. And because growing up illustrating, one of my favorite illustration styles was that of Jamie Hewlett, who did the art and illustration for Gorillaz, like the band. So that green skin, yellow eyes kind of style, or like strange eyes style, really appealed to me. And then I found Psychonauts, um, fell in love with that game, and had a lot of the same kind of ideas or like stylistic points, but in a more cartoonish and friendly uh, visualization. Visualization, which I really liked, while also being slightly more geometric in line work. I was a big fan. And so as I slowly developed my own style, I still kept inspirations in some capacity. So now more minute. Very least, we have black colors done. So next stream it will be very easy to move on. Yeah, because we've got like 30 seconds. 30 seconds until my usual end. That's super cute. I really like it. I really like that look. It's so cute. Very ratchet. So yeah, two panels almost fully completed. And one of them was a very intricate panel. Had leading light work. Did a good bit on it. Yeah, it turned out really good. But let's look to. We're gonna raid into Toe Bean. Tony Bean. Sorry, not Toe Bean. That's not. That's not nice. Tiny Tony Bean. Throwing an army of emotes. Yeah. All right. So, Tony. Thanks to all of the lurkers. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me and hanging out. It's really kind of you to watch and support. I really do appreciate it, even if you're just lurking, even if you're just watching. It always makes my heart feel full. I really appreciate it. Let's get this raid going. Please go across to Tiny Tony. She's lovely. She's an absolute sweetheart. But until then, I'll see you guys all on Saturday for some control. Then.